Hello, MS Live. I'm your host, Dulci Hill, and today we're going to be talking about defying your MRI or, surviving. Uh, why isn't this sharing? I need a technical. All right, here we go. I need a technical person. Uh, all right, that's about it. All I'm going to share. But anyway, it's about. All right, let me try this again. Defying your MRI, and I got stuff to share with you. Also, I wanted to say, Mark, I'm so proud you got up early yesterday morning. I hope that you get up today and you participate. Taryn, thank you for being with us so long. Hi, Ruth. Um, anyway, thank you for being with us so long. Uh, Taryn, we've got that you. I know you commented on YouTube, and it was a long comment. You're going through stuff, and hi Chris, and hi Ruth. So we've got to talk, Taryn. So I'm going to talk. Also, I want you, Taryn, to go to msfrontiers.com and look at the medications. All right, look at the disease modifying medications for multiple sclerosis. I created that back when all these medications had it was compared to placebo. So each medication, disease modifying medication, had the same endpoint, right? So it's like you can't compare Avonex with beta seron, something that is much less effective. So that when medications start comparing their efficiency or effectiveness with other medications and not with the placebo, it kind of skews. Uh, uh, it just skews. Thank you, Chris. It skews the results. So what it is that a while ago, this I think the last time was between, I think it was in the 2005. Hi, Alan. What I discovered is that all the disease modifying medications, hi, D, they used to, on the MS Society, everywhere, they used to compare to placebo. And it is not, that made sense, because I want to know about the medication I'm taking. What are the odds of me not having an attack, right? Not compared to people on Ocrevus, not compared to people on Lemtrada. I want to know with people who don't take anything, right? They're trying to make it more complicated than it needs to be. So what I'm saying is that, Taryn, for anybody who's considering switching medications, all right, there's two things you have to know. And one of them, you go to msfrontiers.com and look at the level of effectiveness, the side effects, and it's compared to the placebo. All right, there's a couple newer ones that snuck in there, and I don't know. So I know a lot of people who are excited about Ocrevus, getting on Ocrevus, and I just have to think. You got to ask yourself: is Ocrevus, is it the miracle drug? Is it? How different is it than rituximab? Who made rituximab? Who makes Ocrevus? Why is the same company who made rituximab? Why didn't they put the research behind getting rituximab approved for people with MS? Wonder why? I don't know. Instead, they put a ton of research on changing medication and creating a new medication that could only be patented and approved for people with MS. So just ask yourself the question, why, why they do that? Why they do? How much do they charge for that? I just did generic rituximab, not yesterday, day before. I was at the IV all day on Monday. On Monday, and you know what? $71. That's my payment. Uh, that's all it costs. So I can do that twice a year, $71. Of course, I don't know how much it was inpatient they're going to charge me. I'm going to be watching that. But again, you got to ask yourself. You gotta ask yourself because unfortunately our doctors aren't like they used to be. They we used to have one doctor who you'd call up and you'd say, well, this itches, and they'd say, all right, I'm going to call you in some hydrocortisone. I don't know. It was one shop doc. I do have a doctor like that. I love him dearly. Uh, Good guy, and he helps. But I'll tell you what, I, with the I know. I know. So Chris is saying it's an awesome price for, but you know what? It should be. It's generic. It's generic, and I got it. In fact, I said to her, well, it's this is generic, and we have to see how I handle it because I'm thinking maybe you need to go slower with. They're like, nah, you can handle. It's the same thing. So instead of me getting bare aspirin, all right, this here is a metaphor. Instead of me getting bare aspirin that was patented, now I'm getting acetylsalicylic acid, generic. I'm getting the Walgreens aspirin, right? I'm getting the generic rituximab. Now not Bear, Walgreens is getting in their rituximab business. Pennies on the dollar. It just, so you got to ask yourself these questions. You have to ask yourself on the effectiveness. How how much do I want to be protected? How aggressive is my disease? Am I active? Do I have active inflammation in my body, or do uh, am I dormant? Do I have secondary progressive and I'm just dormant? I have no flares. Uh, Remember, let's see, all right, she said she was infusing Tisabri for 11 years. All MRIs were great. Yeah, so now she's back on to Sabri, which is great. Now, the title of this broadcast is "Defy Your MRI." Remember, I was pretty stable on on to Sabri, and I did what everybody with MS, a lot of us do. Uh, uh, a lot of us do. It's like, oh, I just getting worse. The medication's not working. So what did I do? I mean, we all do this, and I like doing it because then I can get out and I can dump on myself. Uh, what happened is that uh, I had this catastrophic attack because they took me off to Sabri because it wasn't feeling well. Hi, Nasser. So then they decided to put me on Gilenya. Jelenia was just, I was having problems on Jelenia. So the neurologist decided to take me off for 6 months, just waiting for my, we all get a little panic when you see the blood work and it says that you're lymphopenia. What the heck is that? Oh, I don't want to be lymphopenia. I don't want that. I've got MS. I don't want lymphopenia. And the neurologist says, well, you know what? Let's wait until your lymphocytes come back. But sometimes they don't. Well, guess what happened? In the 6 months while I'm waiting for it to come back, I have this incredible attack. I had an attack that was so bad. It was 2017, so bad that I have no choice but to defy my MRI. All right, this here, I enlarge this. This here, all right, just so you know, this here is my C spot. You see how thick this myelin is? You see how that's supposed to be all the way up here. This is just, let me see, it's my back, my head. So this is the right side, left side of my face, right? I'm laying back. This is only one side. When you start to turn, right, and you look at the MRI in different areas, you'll find that this is compromised. Let me show you. This is so thin in areas. There's no myelin. There's no, in areas. It's just nerve. All right. So I was listed. Get this. Get this. Get this. Because I can't tell anybody, but I'm going to tell you guys. All right. I was listed as being a quadriplegic. This here with my brain, and hi Susan, with my brain and my spine and my T cell. It's like I'm listening to be so. I was like, oh my god, I can't show anybody that, because you know what, I'm listed, but I put on my AFO, I put on my hip flexor assisted device. I do walking lunges. I do squats. I need to do squats. Yesterday I swam a half a mile, so it was wonderful. So, but what I wanted to tell you is that this says that my brain is sending signals. That my brain is sending signals down for my leg to work, and by all means, see the dark area. So now it's like a highway. It's gonna go around all of these little. It's gonna go down, right? Same thing. I gotta go potty, right? The message from my bladder's got to go up around here. That's crazy stuff, and not to mention my spine. So what I'm saying is that if this is as bad as it gets. Clinically, on paper, I am a disaster. In fact, it said on my, and I was reading my notes the other day, it said, in fact, you guys have to laugh. Hi, Dennis. Yeah, you guys have to laugh because on Tuesday, I was convinced it was Thursday. I always do that. Hi, AJ. I always do that. So it's not just positive, Chris. It's that bookmark. It's the doctor assumed you would be quadriplegic, but you know what? It on paper, right? On paper, if I don't make myself do lunges, my brain is not going to know how to do it. Instead, I used to be able to do standing. Hi, Dee Dee. Standing like isometric, jumping. Can't do that anymore. But you know how you could do things repetitively over and over, like lift your knee, your left knee. You practice lifting that knee. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah. That's the lifting. All right. So, all right. So what I'm saying is that I shouldn't be able to stand up, right? According to that, if I'm a quadriplegic, what does that mean? I drop everything I pick up, right? But you know what? You drop everything you pick up. It's called exercise. You lean over, right? Just instead of cursing the things you drop, make it part of your routine, right? Make it part of your routine. Also, doing these squats. I told you guys, let's see, I'm gonna start working out and I shouldn't do that. But anyway, the squat, here we lunges, you gotta do lunges, all right, back up, chest up, and try to do that, right? And so you're forcing those legs that don't want. Now I'm a quadriplegic. Defy your MRI. Defy. This here says that I should not be doing any of this stuff. So, all right. The brighter the flash, the darker the negative. Right? So, once you know the truth, right? And yes, Chris. Yes, Chris. You know what? When people come up to me and I ask you guys to own that saying, when people come up to you and say, and you're saved and you walk with Christ and you're defying your MRI and you know the sick truth, when they say how you're doing, own it. You boldly say, I'm incredibly blessed and highly favored, because I'm telling you what, like this, it is. All right, so Ruth is, the point I was trying to make really is that after a year break from Tisabri, that during this break from, all right, so she was on Tisabri, and that's true. Uh, um, she's just saying that she was on Tisabri, she got used to Tisabri. The longer you're on it, the less effective it is. Apparently, I was on it for 11 years as well. They pulled me off of it. I was also in the Tisabri study program with Abonex. So, hi, Diane. I was thinking about you on Tuesday, what I thought was Thursday. But so, what I'm saying is that if we are going to defy our MRI, we have to be disciplined. We have to realize that it's, you know what, we know life is not going to be comfortable. Life is not life is hard. Life is so hard. Doing lunges, you know what? I had lost so much weight because, I'm 5'6". I'm gaining weight now because I'm trying to eat more. But you know what? Doing a walking lunge across the room slowly burns 10 times as many calories as a healthy person. So, all right, Ruth wants me to, all right, I can't open. All right, so after a year break from Tisabri, during this break from Tisabri, I developed a lesion. All right, so, okay. Uh, but you know what? Yeah, you were missed. You were missed. But anyway, anytime you're on medications, disease modifying medications for a while, your body gets used to these medications. A lot of times you have to stop them and start them again and start them again and see re-engage the effectiveness. It's but sometimes you need to be on stronger medications. I like, yeah, just compare that. But again, defy your MRI. Defy. Let's see. So, all right, what I was saying is that I'm sitting there, so you can imagine people walk up to me and they say, "How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" And then somebody with MS walked up to me and says, "Oh my God, you've had it for what, 34 years?" you are doing so well. And you sit there, no, this is when I was getting infused. And there was a guy who had it for 15 years, and he says, you're doing so well. And I'm sitting there, and I said, no, yeah, you know what? You know better to say that because you have MS. So you cannot say to somebody with MS, when you have MS, you are doing so well. All you can say is you appear to be doing so well. And that's if you get caught in semantics, because he could say, oh, you look like an athlete. You know what? So, and if people like that, right? People like that, uh, you almost want to carry around a copy of your MRI. And when they say you're doing great, say this here, the brighter the picture, the darker the negative. So it is. I'm letting you know if I can do walking lunges, if I can do squats, not like I used to, where you would do like 15 minutes of squats and you go down, you hold them and you pulse and stuff. I can't do that anymore, but I can do like 4 meaningful squats and I can hold it. So I go down and you hold it, right? So you're making your legs. You're creating muscle memory. Uh, it's huge. Creating muscle memory happens when your brain says, "Okay, legs, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me," and your legs, the nerves fail because it gets caught between a traffic jam and the mess, and it fails, right? What happens is that your muscles have been trained to do these squats and lunges, and all of a sudden you start falling and they engage. The muscle just locks up and it catches you. You don't fall. You're like a hallelujah, grace like rain falls so. Anyway, all right. But it's. I've read my animal devotion today because it just brings me joy. And this one was talking about a red-legged spider. She's going to go camping, right? And now I'm a red-legged spider. So are you. And so this is the parallel. If everybody with MS is a red-legged spider, and we go onto a truck, a pickup truck, and we decide we're going to do this elaborate web between the rear view mirror or the side view mirror and the truck, and all of a sudden the family comes down because they're going to go camping 100 miles an hour. They get on and the wind, and we're trying to hold on, and you know what happened? This little spider went on this trip of a lifetime, and got relocated at a stoplight. They roll into town, and the spider is trying to repair the web. And to make the moral, hi Paul, the moral of the story is that when you have any difficulties, anything, right? You are now a spider. Your resilience, your ability to define your diagnosis, defy your MRI, defy everything of the world that they say, oh, this isn't good. Well, I was showing everybody this here. Don't tell anybody. Luckily, nobody, no, yeah. You. Very few family members will watch this, so I can tell this. This here's my MRI on my C-spine. This here is basically why they listed me as a quadriplegic. People with that much from 2017, that much myelin damage, uh, are in a wheelchair permanently. Um, you know what? That's why we defy our MRI. That's why it's. I don't care what the picture says. I don't care. And there is another. I was doing so much with High Tip, so much with MS Frontiers reporting news and cutting edge and things that are coming down the pipeline. They have discovered something that regrows myelin in mice. I get sick of posting PubMed these studies. Uh, I just lost my love of doing that, posting these studies of this hope. Uh, when it's it was a big joke. In fact, you'll see on YouTube on the bottom, our motto is a running mouse because we all want to be the mice that are getting this crazy stuff. Remember, I was in this bile acid study a few years back. I was taking Tudka, and I promoted that. Well, I just got a email saying that I actually was on Tudka. Tudka, which is it's stomach acid. So I don't know. Can't wait to get my MR results. But you know what, Diana, I understand. I understand, but MRIs are for doctors to write down things that are of this world. MRIs are the scientific proof that they need to get things paid for. MRIs to us shouldn't mean anything. You and I should not give any weight to any emotions to an MRI. I mean, gosh, if I got caught up in the emotions of technicians looking at MRIs, I'm telling you what, back in '93, when I was walking out, and I've got the x-rays right there, and I stood behind uh, uh, these technicians staring at it. So, and they're looking at a dead person. And I was in my 20s. I walked up and I said, "It's not that bad. I'm right here. I'm fine." Because even if your brain looks like it has chicken pox, and my radiology report, it says that I have got so many lesions in my brain. If let me tell you something, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for me. There are so many of you newly diagnosed or whatever. So many of you that you gotta be tenacious. You have to be tenacious. You have to do it because it's the right thing to do. All right. So, uh, okay. All right. So, there's a number of people sharing specific uh, what they're going through, and hi Connie. But anyway, it's important to know that you are made. Life is not supposed to be easy for anyone. It's really good when it's a finite. It's finite. It's like that a lot of us, in fact, I ran into a gal who 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 talked about having MS, and she says, I don't want to take this medication because of this chance of cancer. And I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? In a way, and I'd like to. Hi, Jane. I would like to ask those of you who've had cancer, um, please tell me something. Please tell me what is worse, going up and treating the cancer, or is it worse, this long term relationship you have with coming back from MS attacks? Like little strokes. That's what it feels like. For those of you without MS that are watching this, it feels like we have these strokes and it damages us, right? These strokes, we have inflammation. They create these giant white lesions. I've got a lot of white lesions, right? And they damage. The scars are hard to get around. So it's so Diana. I know that you had leukemia uh, because you're on Navantran. There's a number of people who, because we've had it that long. I had Navantran too. I have a leaky heart valve because of Navantran. So you know what? When people come up and say, "Aren't you afraid of this or that?" I fear nothing. I just I I I fear nothing. So tell me something. Tell me, is it easier to, hi Daniel, to deal with uh, just because I look at cancer. Cancer is a fight. It's like, I got to get up and fight this, and I'm either gonna win or I'm gonna lose. And so it is so it's such a challenge, right? But MS, when you're diagnosed, it's a long trip. It's a long trip. It's uh, you signed up to have a project. So Diana said 4 months in a hospital. All right, and so it was a fight. All right, it was such a fight. It was. She says it was such a fight. And Ruth says that cancer. She points out that the difference between cancer and MS and is that cancer it's either going to be cured or it's not going to be cured. It's a fight, right? MS is it can't be cured. MS is uh, and that's one thing. Having a cold, having COVID, having any of that is something that it's finite. When my some people said, "Oh, did you get tested for COVID?" I, I don't need a name to my pain. I don't need that. I didn't need this. In fact, I only re-looked. I showed you this before, and I only looked at that because I read the radiologist and the neurologist report. I mean, I was like, what? What? I fall. All right. Okay. Paul is, and now uh, Paul's been through it. All right, Paul is sharing. They're both fearful. He's a cancer survivor who might or might not get cancer again, so I have to break, so to speak. But all right, this is all right. I see. Yeah, it's no break, but I'll tell you the difference is that cancer is when you go into the doctors and they're like, ah, you've got cancer. So now you take a frog, right? A frog who thinks he's going along great. We're frogs, but we're going great. And now this frog is dropped into boiling water. The uncomfortable, the things you have to face, it's tough, it's yucky. Ugh. It's like, oh my gosh, I've got a project. Versus with MS, this is the kinder side of this is the kinder side. When we're diagnosed with MS, we are that frog. We're put in water, regular water. We're put on the stove and it's slow and it's heated up, it's turned up. But all of a sudden we're getting used to the water. We don't know how bad it is. So it's not like we get into hot water. Although when we have attacks, when I had my catastrophic attack, and I'm listed, Paul, as a quadriplegic because people with this in mechanics are quadriplegic, but I'm not. I'm not. Because I have been in the water like a frog for a long time, and I don't know how bad it is. In 2017, when I had this attack, I had so bad. I could. My worst symptom was the fact that I couldn't sit up. It was the balance. Took out my balance. I didn't know which way was up. I still fall over a lot. So I need to do more exercises on balancing. I need to do that. But you know what? It's only work if you'd rather be doing something else. And Diane, you could say it's more fun to swim a half a mile, right? There was all sorts of kids in the pool yesterday, and they're everybody. The lifeguards are helping me get my stuff together, and all sorts of people are looking at me, trying to get me organized, and the mother with the small children. uh, they're like, you want me to get the kids out of this lane? I said, no, I'll take the second lane. But what I will say is, they're like, are you going to be okay? You know what? If I could swim home, I would. I can't walk home, right? But I'll tell you what, I can swim. I can swim. Uh, I can, man, and it's fun. It's fun. But let me tell you something, right? It's swimming requires you to warm up your shoulders. It requires backstroke. It requires, because I don't use my legs. I drag my legs. I put a band around my knees so that they don't go out like outriggers. Because we people with MS, it's outside. It's our hips tend to go wider. But again, it just, yeah, and Paul, absolutely. Uh, but I'll tell you what, in all honesty, there's those of us with MS, and you're so kind to think it's but Paul, we're kind of alike in that we are Jersey fighters. If I don't have a project that I'm working on, uh, I'm bored, right? So, so in a lot of ways, I just want a break, right? We all want a break. We just, and sometimes a break is sitting on your couch. It's listening to a podcast. It's doing all these things that are easier and more comfortable, instead of just walking and lunges and balancing exercise and shoulder exercise. And you know what? Today it's sunny and it's in the 70s. It's a good. I swam yesterday. It's a good pool day. You know what I'm going to be doing today? What I have to do? Good. I gotta do legs. I gotta do lunges. I have to do that. I have to do that because I am hell bent on not being a quadriplegic. By the way, Paul, don't tell anybody. I just don't do it. Hi, Rob. But you know what? I look at all of you, and I am so impressed that you guys are sticking with me. You guys are sticking with this MS Live. You guys, I am amazed. By the way, I'm thinking about turning this into a podcast, and because I think this would really work as a podcast, right? Defy. You know, I don't know. Let's see. Paul is now saying, yeah, but you know what, Paul? Here's the big thing. Here's the big thing. Whether you live with cancer, you you live with the possibility it may present itself again. Um, whether you live with that, whether you live with MS, chronic leukemia, whether you live with fibromyalgia, like Taryn, you were sharing rheumatoid arthritis, osteoporosis, which I have in my left hip, and you know you're supposed to get osteoporosis medication, but you can run the risk of having your jaw disintegrate. I mean, there's all sorts of exciting things. It's life is whack-a-mole. What's good, Paul, is that you tell me your experience with 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 what you just went through. Has it made you better? Has Are you a better person because of that? Yeah, you know. Yeah, thank you, Paul. Paul, you're so sweet. Yeah, but we're all in this together. All right. Let's see. It's true, but guess what? Nobody. And so Paul is saying it. Paul is saying he's better. Oh my gosh. He had an open. I don't want to reveal what you've gone through, but he is a cancer survivor and he had open heart surgery. So with an open heart, he had a heart surgery, but it just he is a gym rat too. He is my sister-in-law's father, and just and you know what, Paul? That's right. That's Paul says that. I see everybody's got something, and Paul is a survivor, but he's saying that this experience has made him kinder. Has MS now? MS can make us kinder if we let it, right? If we let it. Because it's easy to walk out and it's easy to look at the people who just I took a lifeguard I took to dinner last night. One of the lifeguards. It was her last day until the fall, and I took her to dinner, and you know what was so beautiful about that? Uh, we go to the restaurant, we're trying to walk around the restaurant, all these chairs were so close together. Yes, Paul's on Facebook. Yes. Um, all these chairs, and it's easy for me to try to walk, and I'm banging into chairs and to look at people and think, oh my gosh, this place is not. set up right. They the lack of handicap accessible doorways. You know, forget it. It's miserable. But instead of looking at, it's a pain in the butt to walk around, all of a sudden, if you look at everybody who is trying to be part of the solution, it's like they get up and they move chairs and they're yelling at each other, get out of my way, and it's sweet. It's sweet, and just smile and give them love, and it's a wonderful thing. So when I said to this sweet gal Amanda, I said let's go back, and she likes old cars, so I got the '56 T-Bird, and I drove her around in that. Brought her back to the club to drop her off at her car, and another of the lifeguards is walking out, young gal, and she looks over at the car and she says, "Your car is incredible." I said, Maddie, I said, "You want to go for a ride?" I didn't have my walker or anything, and of course they have to get in it, and I take lots of pictures, and so that they can show their friends, and it's so wonderful. But I took both girls for a ride, a second time for a ride, and it just was I the crippled woman, old lady handing out bookmarks, was like I'm just giving them joy, and they're giggling in the convertible, each girl, and it was low hanging fruit. It just so when I pull in to drop off Maddie, she looks at me and she says, "Thank you, She says, "Thank you, I thank you for talking to me. I had such a beautiful time with you, listen, talking to you and stuff." And I'm thinking, yeah, I used to be a teacher. It's fun. It's fun. Hi, Gina. It's low hanging fruit. It is being kind, right, Paul? It's being kind. Uh, and getting out of your MRI, getting out of your disease. It's just allowing the God working through you. I go into the gym now, and I know if I'm not in the gym lifting weights, people, where have you been? Well, I've been here. I'm at the pool because the people need to see. I don't know why I inspire them. You inspire me. It is. Uh, and Gina says, like Apostle Paul, MS is my thorn in my flesh to keep me grounded from my pride. And that is 2 Corinthians 12:8 through, I think, 12. Paul talks about getting a thorn of affliction in his side. 3 times he asks God, he says, take this, because I'd be better. I spreading your word, take this thorn in my side, I can do it, I can do it. And God says, nah. And now I'm paraphrasing, right? But God says, no, I don't think so. No, I mean, I like you better with it. I like you better with this thorn in your side because my power is made perfect in weakness, right? If we allow our diagnosis to reinvent us and make us kind and love, and all of a sudden, this quadriplegic was driving fire engine red convertible '56 Ford Thunderbird. It just and the smile. It's like in sharing stuff. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, and so it's just a good thing because then all of a sudden these gals. Let me tell you something. These gals, if you can talk to young women, I would say from 30, I'd say from uh, 18 to 30, they need us old girls to just to to ground them, to make them feel that they're special. Because these kids, even the young boys, I hand out bookmarks to these young people because they don't feel special. And when I take Maddie for a ride in the T-Bird, oh, she says, "You're doing it for me. You're burning gas for me. You're taking pictures of me." And yeah, it's like, why not? Why not? Oh my God, these kids are you know, I think about each one of us and about how I need you, and I talk about how we need to come together as MS people, as suffering people, to fortify ourselves so we can go out and and leave this stuff behind. Leave it behind. Defy your MRI. Go out and be a vessel of God's love and love on people who are hurting, because I'm telling you, there's people in my uh, let's see, my normal path that I and there's a couple people that, not a couple, that have been so negative, so that I'm actually repelled. I'm kind of backing away for people who uh, are I would say that they're hypocrites, but I'm a hypocrite. It's not that they're a hypocrite. It's you can't. I just don't think that you can be a Christian and profess that you're a Christian. You go to church and yet say some of the things you should say in public. I just, to me, it's like watching Netflix. It's and not that that is wrong for anybody, but for me, watching anything that makes me less of a person I want to be, uh, it's not right. It's not right. Uh, it's not right. But again, being able to leave the MS stuff, this difficult, it's hard. It's so hard. And I want to talk one more thing. I want to talk one more thing uh, about opioids, because I've been getting emails. Uh, the one thing I will finish this, is that I'll say that it is, if we can come together and fortify each other, then we can spend the rest until, because I know it's Thursday, it's always Thursday, right? We can spend the rest of the weekend just being an instrument of God's peace and kindness. Just because you can say something, should you? Just because I can say, point out the dichotomy in this friend, uh, but just because I should you, I'm thinking, no, I got enough projects. I don't have to fix everyone. In fact, I just need to fix myself. Um, in fact, I'm looking at this right there, right? That's huge. How does anything get by that? All right. So now I want to talk real quick about these opioid painkillers. Uh, Opioids are. I've been on them for a long time. I'm not on them now. I've got them. I've got them in case of emergency, break glass. But I will tell you that if you go to a pain clinic, they'll manage uh, phantom pain, uh, the pain that we feel that is not manifest, it's not easily seen, but we get this pain because the more demyelination, the more our brain perceives we're in pain. And they'll give us morphine, they'll give us all sorts of medications for that, but you guys know the side effects of these medication. Hi, Amber. These side effects of the medication, constipation. They don't. You get sleepy, some get excited. I don't know. But so I'm telling you, there, I'm a firm believer in this medical marijuana. You guys, you guys taught me. You guys taught me. And the only reason why I did this medical marijuana is because I was going to the pain clinic and they yelled at me that I was not taking my opioids the way they were prescribed, which meant that they wanted me as high as a kite. I spent, I think I did that one day. I know I tell them I did it for 3 days, but nah, I was like, you know what? There is no amount of drugs you can take. There's no amount of pot that'll get you as high as the opioids that they'll prescribe. The heck? All right. So what is our solution? For me, medical marijuana. All right. If at nighttime, boy, it is. It's Hi, Christopher. It's huge. It's huge, right? Yeah, Brandon and let's see here. All right, Chris. Chris sits in her garage, but it doesn't make. Yeah, she can. Chris, that's great. Chris can sit in the a garage, but it doesn't make her a car. Going to church doesn't make you a Christian. Here, Chris. It's funny. All right. Let's see. Opioid Brandon's. Yeah. And then Rob says CBD oil really works. And I don't. Hi, Frank. I don't find Budmasters. Yeah, they're like, okay, this here will help you feel better. Well, all right, okay, this will meet this need. So you get what they say, and all of a sudden you've got $2,000. No, you've got 10 different types of medical marijuana that you're like, well, you said it, and then you go back and you said this was gonna do this to me, and it doesn't. It makes me sleepy. And they say, yeah. Well, you have different cannabinoid receptors, and it reacts different to different people. So all these charts that you study, a name for your pain, they 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 may or may not work. So I don't know. So um, anyway, uh, well, it's top of the hour. Uh, uh, so anyway, if you watch us later, Taryn, Mark, Mark, you should be with us. Yeah. You know what, Brandon? I did that. I researched the science, the statistics between the strains and the terpenoids and humulene supposed to make you not as hungry or no not but sometimes it's as if you have a high terpenoid humulene in there. You're not supposed to get the munchies. Well, you can actually get a strain of marijuana with a high humulene and still have the munchies. So what is it? Does it work or does it not work? All right. So it depends on the strain. It is, you know what? It's exciting. We have to have a medical marijuana episode. Uh, and again, anyway, I love you all. All right, defy your MRI. All right, because this here is as bad as it can get with MS. This here is something that when I was first diagnosed, I'd cry that eventually it could happen. But you can't live there. You can't live there. And had I known that it would take this to be comfortable, to live on the world, to take teenage or young women for a ride and make them feel special, and listen to them, and look at them with love that they deserve. You know, God bless the broken road. Carrie Underwood saying that God bless the broken road that led me to you. A lot of what do they like to tell us? All the family, all the friends, everybody who's ever known us that says, yeah, she is born again. She is saved by Christ because she needs God. I couldn't imagine. Let her be with her cute little guy, and that's her in her cute little Bible. But we don't need that. What? What? They say that about me. Paul, we're all, hi Jim. We're a laughing stock to a lot of people who as well, right? And but to those people who, if you open your eyes, you can really see pain in the world, and pain is not your MRI. Pain is pain is not being diagnosed with cancer. Pain, mental torture, depression. That's real pain. When you can't escape yourself, when you're not at peace, when you're not okay with yourself, that is so much worse than any illness, anything, right? So what do we go out and get yourself a real disease and get home with life, right? Find out what's really important. I actually don't wish that on anybody, but I will tell you that it's a good thing. It's a good thing to survive and thrive and put this stuff on the back burner. Go to the gym. I'm gonna go do some lunges. This quadriplegic is gonna go do lunges with a walker. I'm gonna do walking lunges, and I'm gonna pray us all out, dear Heavenly Father. Thank you for everybody who has participated today. Just I ask that you indemnify, make us all whole, uh, not of the things that are necessarily physical, as much as we need that, but help us to ease the pain of what's going on in society. The unkind drivers that won't let us in at red lights or at stop signs. Just allow us to forgive them. Allow us just to love the people that are hurting, that say not nice things. Allow us to be an instrument of the peace, of your peace. Allow us just to spread comfort and to look at people like they, and so they feel the love that we have, that you have for them. In Jesus' name I give thanks. Amen. Anyway, I love you all. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will, right? Because it's Friday. No, it's Thursday, right? Thursday. All right. Well, we'll see you the next episode, which would be Tuesday, where I'll probably say it's Thursday again. Anyway, talk to you on Tuesday. Bye.